Hi, I'm Catarina.
Hi, I'm Caitlin.
Okay, go ahead and have a seat, please.
Thanks.
So how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm
Good.
finally starting to warm up from outside.
Right,
It's really crazy.
it's crazy. Yesterday was like 70 degrees and today it's 40 degrees. What happened?
I know.
Do you feel comfortable?
Yeah, this
Do
is
you need to
great.
change
Yeah,
the seating?
it's awesome.
Okay.
These are nice chairs.
They're so cute. Okay, so how's your day? How's your day been so far?
It's been going good. It's been really kind of busy. This week has been kind of crazy because we have spring break coming up.
Okay.
And so everything's just kind of shifting.
As far as exams or your classes?
Yeah, exactly. Like exams and projects that we're having to do. It's just taking a lot of time.
Kind of like this one.
Yeah.
So I am going to be interviewing you to work on my interview skills, and it is for my social work class. I am trying to get a good grade, but I also want to get to know you further, and if you have any questions, go ahead and ask me. Feel free to ask me anything. This video will be showed in my class, so if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
If a little clip or a snippet of the video is showed in class. I mean, it's not guaranteed that it will be, but in the case that it is it okay?
Yeah, I think that would be all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I will notify you if my professor does decide to show a little snippet of the video or the whole video. I'll go ahead and let you know, and
Okay.
we'll go
Sounds
from there.
Good.
Okay. I have my questions here on my tablet, so if I look down, it's because I'm looking down to look at the question. I'm not paying attention to you. Okay. So we'll go ahead and start, if that's fine.
Sure.
If you
Yeah.
have any questions, you feel comfortable.
Yeah, this is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to become a social worker,
Right.
right? What led you to that decision?
It's actually kind of a funny story of, I guess, how far back do you want to go? It's really far back. My family is actually adopting from China right now, and so that was kind of the first knowledge I had of what a social worker was, because she came to our house to do the, I guess, casework. Now I know what it's called because I'm studying it, but like the case for our house, and I remember we had to clean, and it was crazy. It was a big deal. So yeah, we actually got to meet her, and just like adoption is something that I'm really interested in now. And so yeah, that's kind of how it started out, and it's just sort of, I never really knew when I was little what I wanted to do, but when I found out about that, it just sort of became somewhat of a passion for me, and I go on like different mission trips with church, so I've had the privilege to go to a couple different states and work with some different people, and I just really, really love it. I really love working with people, and so it's just sort of in this like evolution of just sort of finding out about, I guess, myself and like what I'm really interested in, and it just seemed like a perfect fit. More than anything, because my mom's in teaching and my sister's in nursing, so it's just, I guess it kind of fits in that like service oriented, but I'm really enjoying it right now. Like,
that's awesome.
So,
wow, that's really cool. It's so China.
Yeah.
that's really interesting. Wow. Okay, so what population are you really geared towards?
Yeah. I think naturally, kids are the easiest thing for me. Now, I don't know if you want to go towards like the easiest thing, but definitely, like, if I had to pick something, or I guess a population that was the easiest for me to, I guess, communicate with, just because I've had a lot of experience with kids, would probably be where I would go. Of course, so that's like adoption is really a big deal for me, and you know, possibly CPS. I haven't written it out, but part of me, because that's like the stereotypical thing, I'm like kind of resisting it a little bit. But yeah, kids or international work, something along those lines. I haven't really decided yet, but I think kids are probably the easiest thing if you wanted to pick like a population that would be of interest, I guess, the most.
For you.
Yeah.
Is there an experience, because I know you said children would be
right.
best for you, is there a positive experience that you can share with me?
Sure. Let's see. I don't know. There's been so many. I was in PALS in high school,
Okay.
so that's a mentoring program. I don't know if you're familiar with it. Have you heard of PALS before?
If you could go further into that, if you could explain more about it, please.
Yeah, definitely. I could talk about PALS all day long. So pretty basically what it was in high school, it was between the juniors and seniors, because we had driver's license, and we would carpool to different elementary schools in the school district. And we would get assigned students by the teachers. The teachers would fill out forms saying, I think this student needs just some attention, or they may need help studying. It could be a wide variety of things that they would need help with. A lot of times mine were just, they needed extra attention, which is great, because then I got to just play games with them, and that was what I was supposed to do. So anyway, that was kind of my first, I guess, experiences with that, and that was great. I learned how to, last year I had a little boy, that he loved chess and Yu-Gi-Oh! And I know nothing about either one of those things. And I think he was a 3rd grader, and he would beat me at them. Like the whole year, I think he beat me at chess and Yu-Gi-Oh! And nobody would teach me how to do it except for him. And he could have been teaching me the wrong thing. Like, he could have been just making up the rules as he went, and I wouldn't have known. So that's always good when you're like getting beat at chess by a 3rd grader. I could do some damage though with checkers. That was my game. Anyway, so that's great. And just like teaching, I had another little girl she had come from London, and she needed help with math. So it's kind of nice, just like going back and teaching like the basics, and kind of exploring how to kind of, I guess, be at her level, and what she needed. So yeah, lots of good stories with those kids.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I'm not great at chess either. I don't even really know how to play.
Yeah. There's a lot of rules.
I bet. I can imagine. Let's see. I like this question. What qualities do you possess? Do you think that will help you in your career as a social worker?
That is a good question. I think that's really hard, because it's hard for me to talk about myself. That, like, it's personal characteristics about yourself, like,
right.
It's kind of difficult. I think I really like stories. I really like to listen to people, and just like learn about them, where they've come from, different cultures, things like that. So I think that's a real asset to being a social worker. I think probably a good part of the job is just listening to people and trying to be empathetic with them, trying to see a different perspective. I have some patience, not a whole lot, but it's gotten better, especially with the bus system here in Austin.
Oh, okay.
I have to take the bus. It's like, whoo! It's really helped my patience. So I'm getting more patient. That's probably something I can work on a little bit. Things like that. I work really hard, which can be a good thing and a bad thing, because sometimes if you work really hard, you can be really hard on yourself. You don't feel like you're working to your full potential.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so, yeah. But yeah, I think those are good things for social workers.
I think so too. I think you're gonna make a great social worker.
Thanks.
You have those qualities, most definitely. I can totally relate with you with the whole patience thing. I can be very impatient at times, but you have to realize that, things will eventually work its way out, but just can't rush into it if you want it done right, I guess.
Right.
So,
I agree.
yes. Do you have any concerns about the path you're taking as far as like, you want to work with children? What concerns do you have working with children?
I guess just deciding at this point, I guess which path I want to have. It's like kids, that's a really broad range, and so that's really on my heart right now, is just like what I want to do with that. And I guess that kind of goes with like fear of making the wrong decision, you know what I mean? Like if I'm supposed to be somewhere and I don't go there, you know what I mean? So I think that's kind of a challenge, just like knowing yourself well enough to know where to go or which population you want to work with specifically. The S.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's kind of the difficult thing, as well as with kids. You have to be there's just a whole lot of fine lines and gray areas with kids. More so than I feel like with adults, if you talk about like really serious social work issues. You have things like custody and like they're minors, so there's like a whole lot of things that go along with that, I feel like, more than some other populations maybe. So I feel like that would be kind of hard to navigate and learn.
Right.
About.
Certain events could trigger
right.
some traumatic event for the child.
Right.
That's really interesting. So, what are some of the concepts that you have learned so far in class that you can apply to your service learning or in your future?
Right, that's a good question. So we've been talking a lot about fine lines between like confidentiality and different ethics. It's kind of what we're talking about right now. And I think especially not so much confidentiality, because I work with an assisted living place right now. That's where I'm at. And so I think it's more about integrity, because it is with an older population. There are people with severe physical disabilities. And so it's hard to find that line between maybe self-determination a little bit, is what they want to do, how they want to go about doing certain things, and what you really kind of know is best. For example, they don't want to eat their snack a certain way, or it's kind of like there's one way that you really have to do something, or if they don't want to go to the bathroom when they need to, and it goes with just letting them be independent as people, because they are people, which is a whole other area that's really hard to kind of navigate around, is remembering that like they are people, and even though they can't communicate with you very well, like they still hear you, and what you're doing matters to them, and they're still paying attention to what you do. So yeah, and so it's kind of their ability to decide things for themselves, as well as their integrity. Like I said, you have to help them with a lot of things that you wouldn't think would be very, I don't know if it would be like respectful, or like what the term would be for that, but things like going to the bathroom or helping them eat, that you wouldn't necessarily think to do with, I guess, your everyday person. But that's the care that they need when they're older. So it's just like holding their integrity strong while you're having to do all these things that can be rather humbling to everybody else that you would maybe encounter during your day. So, yeah.
Wow. Thank you. That was a really good answer to my question.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I really do agree with you on that. Okay, so that was all that I had for today. Thank you so much for answering my questions. And like I said earlier, this video may be played in class, but beforehand I will let you know and ask you if that's okay. Okay, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.